after going through what I did with you, I could have saved myself thousands of dollars just going through the process the way that you do it and getting to the other side. No one else offered that process. I have to say that as well.
Hey everyone, Ree Perez here, CEO and founder of Branding for the People. And today we are joined with Stephanie O'Brien of Aashna Living. Stephanie, welcome.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Well, now, a lot of our community don't exactly know who you are yet, and I want them to get to know who you are. So we met through a mutual friend, and you came to me with this fascinating, amazing concept. Why don't you tell the people listening in, what is Aashna Living and what are you up to?
So Aashna Living was created because I realized there was a systemic problem within the housing market and that there was not affordable, healthy homes or high quality, healthy homes in good locations and with good accommodations in places that people really wanted to live. And affordable, I mean by workforce, housing, things of that nature. So building beautiful, sustainable housing that's available for the general population, available and accessible.
Yeah, thank you. Now, you're no stranger to real estate. So just for the people, so they have context of like who you are
Mm.
and your credibility, tell us a little bit about your background in New York City.
Sure. I ran a number one new development team in Brooklyn for over a decade. Been with a legacy company there for about 15 years, and which is one of the reasons that I recognize the systemic problem within the housing market that affordable quality housing isn't for the general population, and that I could had not only now do I have the experience after 15 years of running a number one team, um, $800 million worth of sales and over 25 accolades or awards, and featured in countless posts, that I was able to fulfill what was missing in our market, and that I had the skills, expertise, and knowledge and resources to do it now.
Awesome. Well, that's no small achievement. So, so yeah, you're pretty much a badass. Uh, all right. So like I mentioned earlier, you did get introduced to me through a mutual friend, David, who we both love, and he's near and dear to our heart. What was the problem that you had prior to branding?
I had done some quick run throughs with the marketing materials that I had for feedback and realized that I had a lot of great content, but I didn't have any verbal identity and or brand identity that was recognizable. I was missing the wow factor, simply put. Just, I needed a
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And that's common for a lot of people. Like, what's that wow factor, right? They have an amazing concept. They have business. They had done all the research for to bring this business to market, and you wanted to have that wow factor, that verbal identity, that brand identity. So you could have worked with a marketing agency. You could have worked with several other branding firms or resources. Why did you ultimately end up choosing to work with me and Branding for the People?
Well, first and foremost, I'm very keen on working with my intuition. And after having our first consultation with you and you making a few comments, I not only felt heard, but I felt seen. And I felt that that was a huge step in trusting your company to fulfill my company's vision.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I think some of the best collaboration and the best work comes out when you sort of listen to your intuition and it feels good. It feels like a really good fit. So it was definitely a really good fit in working with you because of your vision and also just how you think and us collaborating, like we can actually work and critique things together. Was so in our case, I'm going to zero in and focus in on the strategy piece of it. So for a lot of our clients, they go through the full thing, like the brand strategy, the brand identity, the website, and all the marketing collateral. But we made a conscious decision to kind of really focus in on on the brand strategy process through a service we call a branding intensive. Um, what was your experience like going through the branding intensive?
Oh my gosh. It was a lot of work, but it was so exciting to go through the moments of understanding what my company's platform was all about on a level that I had never felt before. It was like shuffling a deck of cards and then just lining up. This is where this is where the money's at. You know, this is where your brand stands out. And even though I felt that and I saw it, I was not able to articulate it until I went through this process. Going through this helped me get organized, clear, concise, and to a place where I felt confident in that my brand had its own voice and that it was aligned with the vision that I had imagined for it, but maybe tenfold, 10x. Definitely gave me that 10x factor.
Yeah, so everyone wants that 10x factor. They want that wow factor. Was there something about going through the process? Now you're quite successful. You've had successes. You're brilliant. You're smart. And oftentimes, it's for a lot of people, it could be sort of challenging to work with someone else. Picking apart their brand or their business. Was there something that you could speak to about the process that made it effective for you? That just worked?
I wish I could put my finger on it, but I will honestly say this, that it is your magic. It's how you see words and how you can line them up. I'm a little dyslexic and ADHD. So when I come up with these visions, I have these wonderful ideas and you're able to pull things out of them. And I don't know how you did that. I wish I could say I knew how to do it other than the organization that you had, where I had my own aha moments. And then you were able to collaborate with me so that the state remained deeply rooted within my vision, but from a place that was from the outside in, where the best I could do was from the inside out.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. That's so important. It's funny. I just did an interview the other week where it's just kind of like you can't see the label of the bottle, right? I'm sure we've all heard this phrase. You can't see the label of the bottle when you're inside it. So it does. What I'm pulling out and what I'm highlighting is that for a lot of people listening in is that sure, you can try to do it yourself, but it'll only take you so far because you're so close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that. Not everybody has that skill. I did go through a couple other people that claimed that they were marketing agents, but after meeting you, I don't feel like I don't feel like it. I feel like they had theory, but not application. And you have both.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It actually prompts me to ask a question because I may not be the right fit for everyone, right? And maybe for the right people I am. But what advice would you give someone when they're thinking about choosing who to work with, with their branding? What are the characteristics that you look for? Or what advice would you give people to what to look for working with a branding partner?
Sure. The first thing I did is I looked at who you are as a company, what your brand means, and the level of your brand. And was it something that I felt like was going to up level my company or the new business that I was starting? And all of those were a check. Yes, yes, and yes. Outside of your professionalism, your demeanor, and your ability to wordsmith things that are not even normal. But the thing is that I felt that I had one chance. And like I said, even though I think that I was ready to bring my company to the public, it still wasn't where I wanted it to be. Like there was that piece that was missing. And after working with you, I realized that the first impression that I was going to make was finally at the level that I felt I brought to the table. Not to be arrogant or anything, but I know what I have to offer. And I felt like I needed a branding company that could deliver the same or better than that experience.
Awesome. I love that. All right. So I'll switch gears a little bit. So in your case, this is a long tail project for you. It's not like, hey, let's get rich quick kind of thing. This is your heart and soul that you poured into it for the past couple of years. And you could say that we're just getting started, even with the branding work that we've done. And so for some of our clients, they've been able to achieve certain types of results, 6 months, a year, 2 years later. We're not exactly quite there yet, but there might be some near-term results that you might have been able to experience, or outcomes that you can share as a result of having gone through that process, and as a precursor to going out into the market? Have you had anything that you could share with the audiences there?
Sure. I mean, just to kind of reiterate what I just spoke about, the biggest thing for me right now is confidence and peace of mind that my brand is at the level that I expect and desire it to be out the gate.
Confidence and peace of mind. That's worth millions, isn't it?
Priceless. Priceless. Yeah.
Priceless. All right, so there you have it. Stephanie O'Brien of Aashna Living. If you're listening on this, I will tell you, keep an eye on this woman. She's up to something big. Aashna Living is going to be a major brand in the world, creating beautiful, sustainable housing.